As long as they laugh.
I keep saying Kamala is a comic.
Yeah, well, they often laugh at the wrong times.
Yeah. Aladar, you probably.
Competing is bad timing.
I don't know. I hate my laugh.
Aladar, you probably remember, what was his freaking Brian Earl? Happy New Year. Hey, yeah, thank you. Welcome to Chirping Bird Comedy, everybody. It is Monday night. You know what that means? That means there's going to be a lot of jokes being told into your living room or into your car or maybe your workplace. I don't care where you are. If you are somewhere quiet, you could go off of mute. If your mom's yelling at you in the background, you could stay on mute, Jinda. It's totally fine. No, that could be anyone. That could be any one of us on this call right now could be getting yelled at in the background. We do have a completely stacked show tonight. I do want to mention that later on tonight we have Steve Kerr, we have Alexandria Ocasio-Cortez, Clinton, and Jill Biden, and that's the DNC. That is not what's happening. That is only competition tonight is the DNC. That's what we're competing with. I guarantee there will be more nudity on this show. I'm not even promising any nudity, but it might happen. No, I don't know. That would be pretty awesome if there was nudity at the DNC. The DNC comes to Chirping Bird. That's what. No, I am in Chicago. Aladar is here too. Kat is also here. It's been an interesting one. I got like a news alert on my phone and it said like protesters breached the outer perimeter of the United Center fence. And I was like, oh, that's fucking crazy. I turned on the news. It was like a hole in the fence and like 4 people got arrested. I'm like, not worth it. And then the news went inside and told people that people were like breaching the exterior and they were like, oh, really? Like what's going on out there? Like, so I told my wife, so all the local news cares about the protests because they can't even get people on the floor. And then all the national news is just covering the convention. And I want to do a split screen because I want to see the breaking through to the United Center from the inside of the United Center and from the outside, because that's what I watched. I watched January 6th on C-SPAN. It was so fucking good. C-SPAN was inside. It was just people moving out and then a different group of people moving in. It was the coolest, most exciting day on C-SPAN. Can't stress that enough. I mean, C-SPAN had somebody getting shot on it. That's a first. Let's just be honest. That's a first. That lady got shot. C-SPAN was there. C-SPAN's always there. I got so pumped after January 6th and that coverage. I went to the C-SPAN merch store and I almost bought a C-SPAN hat because it's so cool, guys.
Nice.
Just nice. I had an interesting weekend. I decided I worked on my car for a couple hours this weekend, and the whole time I was doing it, I was clicking. I had a timer going like, how long does me working on this not make it financially worth it than paying somebody to do this? I got quoted $300 for 1 hour of work and parts. I bought the $35 part and it took me 5 hours. So I don't know if it was worth it. I still think it's worth it because if you can't fix it, you don't own it. It doesn't matter if you paid it off. If you can't fix it, you don't own it. Christopher's a hacker. He knows what I'm talking about, right? I jailbroke my car. No, I literally changed the locks and everything on it. But then I did a comedy show last night. And when I was standing there before the show, somebody came up to me and looked at me and then said, "What do you do for a living?" And I just said, "I work in big tech. I work for computers." And I looked down and my hands still had grease and blood on them from working on the car. So they immediately just snapped back. "Are you trying to keep AI in the fucking box? Are you trying to keep it from getting out?" And I was like, "That's a pretty good one." No, I'm just really poor at plumbing and building out my closet and fixing my car. These are the things I come on the show every Monday and complain about my Sunday chores, my dad chores. I do like telling dad jokes. Dad jokes are great. I don't have any kids, so I just tell them to adults. And when you tell dad jokes to adults, you're probably going to get punched. And I thought I was going to get hit in the face this weekend because I was at a brewery and a man came out of the bathroom with a full piss-colored beer. And I said, "Are they giving out free refills in there or what?" And he looked at me and wound up. And I was like, "I thought that was a good dad joke. I don't know. I need an outlet. Maybe I should start doing stand-up comedy like our first comedian coming up." Super happy to get this show started. He hasn't been on in a hot minute. I'm super happy to have back on this show. I'm looking for the camera so I can highlight him. Please welcome Kate Chen. Yeah.
Ooh, thanks, y'all. It's cool. It's good to be back on this. Every time I do this show, it makes me sort of miss the pandemic a little bit. I don't let, sweatpants every day, work from home. I don't want anybody else to die, but I am rooting for bird flu. So let's see. DNC's underway. That's cool. I believe Joe Biden is there tonight. He doesn't know that he's there, but there. Yeah. I had a friend who Joe Biden dropped out. Yeah, you're about a month late, Jinder. Yeah, he dropped out a while. I had a friend of mine that posted I voted. It would be really cool if Kamala won because then we can see an Asian in the White House. Like, really? Okay, Kamala is Asian. Like, that's technically true, but that's kind of a stretch. That's like when you found out that a cucumber is a fruit. Maybe you just now found out that a cucumber is a fruit. Yeah. You thought it was a dildo. No, it's And by the way, Kamala is half Indian. I'm not saying Indians are not Asian. They're definitely Asian. You also get compared to your more successful cousins. I get compared to my less successful cousins. My mom's like, "Hey, your cousin's an entrepreneur." Okay, he sells drugs at music festivals. But I'm just saying, Kamala Harris is definitely black. Like, she went to Howard. She's from Oakland. The only thing Asian about her is that she's married to a white dude.
Oh!
Harass is a fruit and a nuts. Fruit penis. What am I missing here? This is just. Oh man!
I forgot to kick off the show with a warning. Don't read the chat while you're performing.
Oh, okay.
It never helps. You can read it. It just never helps. That's all.
Yeah. Okay. It just looks like words. It actually looks like a Joe Biden speech. This is the fruit penis. Harassed is a fruit nut. Yeah. Okay. DNC's underway. There was a protest about. There's a Gaza protest. Why does everybody care about Gaza now? It's been 75 years, and now all of you care about it? Why? Because it's trendy? I saw this influencer wearing a t-shirt that said "Save Gaza's Children." I wonder what the Cambodian kid in a sweatshop felt like making that shirt. Oh, yeah, I'm such an ally. Oh, yeah, I'm a slutty little ally. Yeah, look at all this awareness I'm spreading. Yeah. I don't give a fuck about those kids. Come on now. Okay. That was dark. Where Gaza and sweatshops in one joke. That's pretty dark. You know what? Let's talk about something a little bit more lighthearted. My dog died. Everyone, my dog died.
Oh no.
Yeah.
Sorry.
You're like, how did he die? Well, he was 17. He's a 17-year-old dog. They die. How should he have died? Well, he was a Chihuahua and he tried to fight a pit bull. Should have died right there. And a German Shepherd at the same time. That's how he should have died. One time, he chased a plastic bag out into the street. That's how he should have died. One time, he ate an entire pan of grease. Turns out dogs don't care about cholesterol. That's how he should have died. Honestly, I'm not the best. I haven't been the best human because he's had like multiple near-death experiences. But anyways, what happened was about 3 weeks ago, he stopped eating. If your 17-year-old dog stops eating, you're like, oh my God, this might be the night. So on the way home, I picked out some In-N-Out burger, and suddenly this little fucker is full of life. Like suddenly he has the will to live. And for the last 3 weeks, I was feeding him burgers and pizza and Korean fried chicken. This dog was eating better than any of my Hinge dates ever had. And if you're like, wait, you treat your dog better than you got that dog is okay. That dog is so good to me. And the dog doesn't care how tall I am. A dog doesn't care how much money I make. A dog doesn't care how much porn I watch. Okay. Some of y'all.
You're freaking up a little bit. Uh-oh.
Oh,
That's a beep. Oops.
Do we lose you, Kay? I don't know if he's responding in robot tones. I'm sorry about
Revenge of AI.
I'll keep him up here in the small spotlight. I think Kay might have been dropped.
Like the Trump mugshot.
Oh God, people keep entering the room while I'm trying to figure out what's going on. Evil Dave is here, guys. Kay, I think, is having a technical issue right now. Typically what happens is I look at how far in the set he is, and then I write down the last thing he said for when he rejoins, and then he continues exactly where he left off, and I move on to our next comedian. In the meantime, this has happened. It's a sandwich set. He'll probably be back and perform after our next comedian, but I'm just going to bring up our next performer because we are completely stacked. I didn't say how many people we have. We have so many comedians on tonight. It's not even funny. It's going to be fucking insane. But no, please welcome back to Chirping Bird, Chicago comedian, true original, Aladar Scott.
Hello. Yeah, Chicago's been really fun with the DNC in town. Kay was talking about like protesting and stuff like that. I want to start protesting McDonald's and not like the company, the pricing, because what happened here? Like, I get it, like inflation, pandemic, yada, 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 yada. But there is no way a McDouble should cost more than $2. Like I would be willing to do like $2.75 at most, but it's $3.25 for a McDouble. Have you guys ever tasted a McDouble before?
No.
It tastes like poverty. And you know,
Does.
that's the best way to describe it, because like I feel depressed eating it, and you guys can't tell about my body, but I am built on like McDoubles, guys. Okay, like I should know at least how much I should be. $3.25, absolutely not. Like that is insane. We need making America great again. We need to make McDonald's affordable again. Like that's it. Thank you. That wasn't a joke. I'm just ranting at this point. Okay. But yeah, Chicago's been great. So I live in a suburb 20 minutes northbound of the city. So I'm right by O'Hare, and I'm in a real fancy area where it has like a private like airport too. So I've been extra slutty this weekend, making sure that anybody flying their private planes definitely can tell that I would like to shop at Lululemon. I just don't have the funds for it. But I'm attractive enough where they should be like, oh, wow, let's get your life together, honey. So that is what I'm working on this week. But other than that, fun fact about me, I just had a baby, guys. So yay.
Hey.
Yeah, I like how you guys are clapping for something I didn't plan. So the thing is, though, I'm in my 30s. And so I'm at the point in my life where my friends are starting to have children on purpose. And to me, that's still a concept like, why would you do that? But it's not even my first baby, you guys. It's my third baby. So I'm basically a professional breeder at this point. And my friends are starting to ask me some questions. And when I mean by questions, they're more like rude statements about it. I get a lot of like, oh, Alidar, due to your age, are you going to continue having back-to-back pregnancies? Or are you going to continue to build your family? Which I hate that concept, building your family, because for those who don't have kids, when you have kids, you're not building a family. Having children is a business investment. That's it. And here's why. So my oldest daughter, she is 16 years old and she's already 5'9". All right. So I'm like 5'4" for reference. Okay. My middle daughter, she's a gymnast. So she's got these quads bigger than like Kurt Angle's shoulders. You know what I mean? And then the baby that I just had at birth weighed 10 pounds.
Oh,
Don't get that, whatever mental image is going on in your head, guys, stop. Don't be fucking rude, okay? So I'm not like trying to build a family. I'm trying to recreate the 1985 Chicago Bears. I'm trying to continually have Super Bowl shuffle hits year after year after year after year, okay? So let's crush it. Like Cardi B wrote that song WAP about me. Do you guys know what WAP stands for? Her ass Peyton, absolutely. Yes, that song's about me. I'm not a regular mom. I was a teen mom, if you guys can't tell by the blue hair. Yes. The thing is though, like I auditioned to be on season 1 of America's hit reality TV show 16 and Pregnant, if you guys are familiar with trash, and the thing is, like, that audition experience was a lot of fun. MTV responded back to me. They said, Alidar, thank you so much for your interest in 16 and Pregnant, but you're 18 and pregnant, you're damaged goods, we do not need you. So like try Rock of Love on VH1.
oh,
Might be more fitting. It's interesting being a mom like in my 30s versus being a mom as a young mom, as a teen mom, because the way that I interact with parents is vastly different now. Like back then, like I would get a lot of like, oh, cute, look at you, a baby with a baby, how sad. How did you get pregnant? Like that was a question, and I wish that wasn't an actual question that I get, but like, how else do you get pregnant? Like, I don't know. I would be very baffled by that question. I'd be like, well, I'm pretty sure it happened at a sleepover one night while I was playing Twister with some friends, like right foot red, left hook parenthood, and ta-da, here I am, That's kind of how it happens. But now that the conversations that I have with other parents now that I'm in my 30s is the tone is different, but just as condescending. I get a lot of like, oh my goodness, look at you. You're married, baby, with a house, and you have a job. That's so weird. Who watches your children? And I hate that question so much because it's like, I do have a house. I didn't know mortgage equaled free childcare, freaking dinglings. And so when I tell people that I put my youngest child into daycare, they give me like the meanest look. They give me like a very confused look. It's a very similar look that I made when I found out Clay Aiken didn't win American Idol. So very rude, and so and when I tell people that, they act like I've created some parental sin. It's very bizarre. And then they ask me questions like, aren't you worried about what your child is doing and what they're doing with your child? And the short answer is no. The thing is, because I don't know if anybody has seen the daycare system nowadays, but I get like hourly updates of my kid. Plus, I get access to cameras 24/7, or as long as my child is in that classroom. It's basically a Fort Knox for toddlers, you guys. So the thing is, I don't know what my kid is actually up to typically is when he's at home with me, And so, like I said, I get a lot of updates about my kids. It's hourly updates. It's like, oh, your child ate breakfast. Your child went to the bathroom. Your child got pushed on the playground, but don't worry, he retaliated and now he's king of the playground. Like, those are the kind of updates I get with my kids. I feel like my parents, and I like I said, I'm in my 30s, so I'm a 90s kid. I grew up in the 90s. I feel like my parents would have benefited if they had those type of updates like with me. And like I feel like those updates would look something similar to like, 9 or 3:00, Aladar got off the bus, and then at 3:30 we picked her up because it was our turn to babysit the neighborhood kids. Aladar wanted to watch the O.J. Simpson trial, but we retaliated and molested her. Like that's. All right, cool. So we like the O.J. Simpson trial joke, didn't like child molestation jokes. God, it's moving forward. It's new. Fuck it. We're here. We're here trying new stuff. I do love being a parent, and it's confusing to me when people say like, "Oh, I hate my kids," because like, do I get frustrated with them? Sure, but having children is like having an instant best friend. And it's really cute because, like, especially as somebody who is very rounded in the body area, like, I consistently have a reason to go to Dairy Queen whenever the fuck I want. Like, having kids, 10 out of 10 will recommend. Oh my God, I love it. I wish I liked my job as much as I liked my kids because I feel like I would be better at my job. Which is weird because I'm surprised I've never been fired from my job. And so I don't think I could legally tell you guys where I work. I work for one of the biggest box retailers in the United States. And due to my position in the company, I don't think I could tell you guys where. But to give you guys kind of like an idea of where I work, the logo is like a really big target, So I do like my job in the sense where I get to do a lot of cool shit with the company. Like I'm responsible for doing a bunch of volunteer events for the company, and we did this really fun event with the Girl Scouts of America, and it was about women empowerment. And so I created this activity where it was like positivity jars. You have to write something nice things about yourself, put it in the jar, and then it came to the part where we had to like pull out one random thing that we wrote about ourselves and share it with the class, if you will. And when it came to the leaders of the company, we had to say our name, say the nice things that we did for the company, and then what we, do, or like, so we say our name, the nice thing that we wrote about ourselves, and what we do for the company. And because like, I don't know, it's very hard for me sometimes to turn off the sarcastic comedian aspect of me. So when they came to me to pull out my positivity note, I was like, "Hi, my name is Aladar," and I just grabbed the first thing I saw, not even paying attention, and I read it. And I'm like, "My name's Aladar, and I'm so hot I'd fuck myself."
Oh.
And one of the little girls goes, "Yes, queen." And then another girl said, "She's having a brat summer." No, I don't know what that means, guys, but I was like, I guess I am. And my boss just looked at me in horror and she goes, "Okay, Aladar, what do you do for the company?" And I'm like, "I'm an executive for human resources." Oh. So my final day at Target is next Friday. No, it is. I'm actually leaving the company, but I didn't get fired. But okay, cool. You guys like that one, so I'm gonna keep it. But you guys have been so much fun. I've been Aladar. Enjoy the rest of your night, and I hope Kay comes back online. Bye.
Yeah, one more time for Aladar. I love it. Kay's not gonna be rejoining. He had a hard stop time, so he restarted his Wi-Fi to come on and tell me that he'll be doing his set in full length on an upcoming show very soon in the future. He'll be doing that, so look forward to that. I like that at my work all the time. That I always volunteer for when students visit, like from schools. Like I work at the type of place where like they bus in students that work and that are trying to study computers, and then they ask for employees to go on a panel, and I always do it. And the one thing I always so the questions you always ask is like, oh, what's it like working in tech? Like, what is it like? And I'm like, you guys do group projects in school, right? And they're like, yeah. And I'm like, well, every day it's like working on a giant group project. And I go, are you the kid in the group project that does all the work while the other kids don't do any of it? I'm like, because then you can work here. Like that's the only type of people we hire that get stuck doing all the fucking work. That's basically it. And the teachers get upset. One teacher came to me afterwards and says, we don't do group projects anymore. And I'm like, well, you are not helping these kids at all, man. Got to cut the slackers out like right away. Okay, our next meeting coming up. Well, actually, he's a magician. He's going to be doing illusions and blowing your mind with his hands and all of those things. Truly a magical performer. Please welcome Paul Kilmer.
Hi, everybody. I'm going to be blowing you with my hands tonight. That's what Mark said. So if you have a problem with it, email him. He said I would be blowing your minds with my hands, and I don't know what that means, and I'm uncomfortable, and now you are. So thanks, Mark. So I'm a comedy magician. You're going to absolutely love what you see, depending on what your mood is. If you were having a bad day before this, you're not going to like it. And honestly, that's not my fault. That shouldn't reflect badly on my performance if you had a bad day. So I'm going to show you my paper trick. It's a banana.
Hey.
I said it's a banana. Woo-hoo! Thank you for that energy. This is fantastic. I love this show. The reason I used to do this with a dove, but we can't set them on fire anymore.
Oh.
Yeah, I'm not saying I set animals on fire in the 80s. I'm just saying I didn't. So some guys did, but not me, and you can't prove it. So today I was going to do something special because Mark said, it's like, hey, could you be on my comedy show? And I was like, next week. And now here we are. So what I did is I was going to get out of these handcuffs, but I swallowed the keys yesterday. And then I got nervous. They would have come out. And I took some X-Lax, and I'm in a very different position than I was in yesterday. So we're just going to skip this trick because I get paid lots of money for pooping on camera elsewhere on the internet.
Hey!
Yeah, you come to my OnlyFans. I give you the goods. Whatever those are. So we're going to play a game. It's called What's in My Bag. Because you're a group of comedians, you're going to make that dirty. So get your minds out of the gutter.
Sorry.
No, I'm serious. This is a Christian show.
What?
Yeah, Mark said it's like, this is a Christian show. Jinda's going to say penis, and you're all going to hell.
All right, yeah.
That's what Mark said, not me.
Probably.
Yeah, I know. It's crazy. So in the bag is a bunch of my favorite things. When you guys were going to school, did you ever have a bag lunch, or were you rich? I always had a bag lunch, and my favorite meal I got was made by my grandmother because she watched me a lot because it was the 80s. It's a bag of uncooked pasta.
Oh.
I know if you put it in your mouth long enough, it's cooked pasta. No one cared about me. And I'm on the internet talking to you about my childhood, but only because I'm a comedian. That's the only thing we talk about. That and penises. We talk about penises and sex.
No.
And the lady from the Olympics who possibly might have had a seizure, which is mostly what breakdancing is. But anyway, Mark, speaking of jobs, everybody was talking about jobs. I just got a new job.
Yay!
Yeah, I know. But Mark, I need your help with something. Listen, I'm going to mail this out to you. I'm going to need you to pee in this cup. I can't pass a drug test. And I need you to pee in this test. No, I don't do drugs in myself. I just sell comedians pee on the internet on my OnlyFans. And you're next.
Yeah.
If anybody else wants the pee in a jar, you could send it my way. I'm not going to give you any of the money. I'm just going to collect your pee. I never said any of this was funny. I just said I was a comedy magician and you were going to like this. And it's not my fault you guys are laughing. I'm actually doing rather well. And because I'm a magician, I'm dead on the outside, and I'm a comedian and I'm dead on the inside. So what the hell am I? I've been trying to figure out who I am for years.
Yeah.
Me too.
Oh no, that was just me having an existential crisis. I use these shows as a way of dealing with my problems.
Yeah.
When you tell your audience that you use stand-up comedy as therapy, you're actually stealing someone else's bit. I just want to throw that out there. Anyway, yeah, hey, no, I'm just saying, don't worry. Just be aware that I just asked Anthony to pee in a cup so I can sell it. Just throwing that out there. Another thing I have is yellow nacho cheese from the movie theater.
Ooh.
This isn't funny. I just have this on me all the time because it makes me feel better about myself. Don't ask any questions. I'm not smart enough to answer them. So I think I'm going to end today's show and tell with an actual magic trick.
Ooh.
And I just want to say this. A lot of people say what I do is prop comedy, and they have a problem with it. It's not my fault that people like weird things, number one.
Yeah.
It's not my fault. So I hear what you say and it hurts because people like me better. I'm sorry. Look at me, I'm adorable. No one has ever done anything bad with suspenders on.
Well.
Except Donald Trump.
Oh.
He doesn't wear suspenders, so I just spread misinformation. And there's nothing you could do about it. I'm actually going to get online later today and say something problematic, and then you will elect me president. My favorite thing about Joe Biden is that he only wants to tell you about his sports car. Oh, hey, Mr. President, why don't you tell us about that box of top secret documents? Oh, it was behind a locked door inside of my sports car. I said, Joe, you just wanted to tell us about your sports car, bro. That's why I love the guy. He's just your uncle trying to drop the fact that he's done better in his life than you. Leave him alone. He's done more than you, and now you're mad. And he's my uncle. So anyway, so this is what I'm going to do. I'm just kidding. He's not. Oh, God, this is going badly. So this is something that you can do. This is family friendly. I'm not going to swear or make any references to my genitalia so the kids can come back. Whether Jinda does or not, that's not my fault, and I'm not taking responsibility for Jinda. He's made his choices. So you need a dollar bill. You can use any denomination. I choose this $1 bill because it's Roman Catholic. Look how adorable I am. Look at me. I'm gonna make this really weird, and you're gonna like it. So, what you're gonna do is you're gonna turn the bill upside down without turning the bill over, and it roughly looks like something like this. So, if you take the bill like this and you hit it, you can get George Washington to flip upside down like that without spinning the bill over. Okay, so I guess I was the only one who thought that was cool.
I like it. Yeah.
So there's an actually faster way to do it. If you just pinch these two ends and you flick it right here, you can get the bill to go back to the way it was faster than you did it the first time. I know, you shouldn't have did those edibles. You did edibles before this. You guys were going to have a bad time. And honestly, that was your decision. You can't blame me for your mistakes. Other people do. Republicans do. Anyway, I've been Paul, and I'm very, very comfortable handing it back to Mark because I think the set was an 8 out of 5, and I don't care what people think of me. So I hope you guys have a good one.
Yeah.
One more time for Paul Kilmer. We learned a lot. We learned a lot about Paul. Paul learned a lot about himself. I learned even more about President Biden than I thought I could. So this is a win-win for everybody. I do love his work. That's what I was really hoping that's how he leaves the DNC tonight. He gives a speech, pulls out like Tom Cruise on the motorcycle at the closing ceremony. He's like, Biden repels in, gets on his fucking sports car, takes the American flag, shoves it in the back, and then just like fucking crashes into the side of the United States. Cool. So cool.
That's all he wants to do. He just wants to tell me about his cars, man.
He just wants his license back. There's no way they're gonna let him drive. There's no way after that. If you aged out of even your supporters wanting you to be president, then like let's take the license too, guys. Let's take driver's license.
Anthony, I forgot to mention this. I think when you become president, they just give you a box of top secret documents.
And
because
it's a test. It's to see.
Yeah, and then you have to hide them real good.
Yeah, it's a game. It's a good game.
Because everybody's gotten in trouble.
It is part of the job. It's part of the job is where can you hide shit the best, and that's how good you are as president.
And he hid it in his car.
That's the right way to do it because that's his getaway car. Because it's always 100 feet away and with a full tank of gas, and he's ready to fucking just gas it. We're gonna keep moving on though. We do have so many comedians tonight. Our next comedian has a dry bar comedy special out, which is super cool, and a YouTube special coming out. And the Character Debates podcast as well, so you should check that out. I'll let him explain what that is. That's a cool themed podcast that I've listened to as well. I tell people I do this all the time. I introduce and then I de-introduce people because I start thinking about what I'm saying too much. But yeah, I'll check it out. Check it out on your way to work this week. That's when I always listen to my friends' specials and podcasts. It's awesome. But please welcome back to the Chirping Bird stage, Michael Harrison.
Yeah. Thank you. Yeah, I want to talk about Biden too now. You guys got me thinking about that. Right? Because it's true. He got kicked out by his buddies. That's yeah, maybe I do want to like quit this set and just go watch him cry during his speech because he's going to be holding back. He is though. Okay. Am I wrong? Were the Democrats not ruthless to him just a little? Am I the only one who sort of thought that? Like, yeah, right. Come on. There's Pelosi helped kick him out. Obama helped kick him out. I wouldn't be surprised if Biden votes Republican. I don't know. The only thing I really recollect was that I remember the Republicans kept attacking Biden, saying that it was elder abuse that he was president. And I don't think Republicans know what elder abuse is. That's for sure. Elder abuse is when you leave an old guy in a home and never see him again. They let him have nuclear codes. I don't know what your definition is. When I'm 80, I hope I'm a Democratic president. I'll put it that way. That sounds dope. All right. I I mean, I think I've sort of made this comment before, but first off, I'm originally from Canada, so this is I became an American citizen. This is gonna be my first year I vote.
Wow.
I know. This is, yeah, I can't wait. This could be my first year I skip voting. I haven't really voted in Canada either. So we'll see. We'll see what happens. The first time I'm allowed to if I want. I will say this, man. Americans don't know how to do elections. Holy shit, you guys are awful at this. Really bad. Really bad. I don't think you guys know how to do elections. That's for sure. Right? The biggest problem is they're too long.
Yeah. Fuck.
Right?
Yeah.
I know. 2 years. 2 years for an election cycle. That's ridiculous. In Canada, it takes us 5 weeks to pick a bad leader. And this one, like, don't get me wrong, everyone was sort of shit-talking this one, saying it was going to be so boring and whatnot. And it couldn't be more interesting, honestly. Watching, first off, convicted felon, you know he's fighting so he could get rid of all of his, all the crimes that he's going to be, he's gonna be responsible for. So that's really fucking fun to watch. All right.
Yeah.
Plus, it is sort of interesting to watch Trump shift his strategy on Kamala. You know, he didn't expect Kamala, so it's like it's a complete 360 for him. That really sucks for him. I feel sympathy for Trump right now, just because, like, think about it. A month ago, he was talking about how black people are losing jobs. Now he's trying to prevent a black person from getting one. Right, that's sort of sucks for him. Yeah, I don't know. Trying to think more about election stuff. The one thing I was actually found very fascinating about the election is that both Kamala and Trump, they're both against people being taxed for their tips. Have we all heard this?
Yeah.
We've all heard that they're both you don't have to get taxed on tips soon. Oh my God, how generous. That should definitely cost the government like $40, I bet. Right, because who's been declaring tips on their taxes? I didn't realize I was supposed to go to my local bartender at the start of the year and drop a W-9. You know, I didn't really. Like, what? No offense, but before I was a stand-up comedian, I worked at a coffee shop, and now I'm looking back, and I didn't realize I was committing tax fraud. You know, like. I'm up there with Al Capone. I've evaded my taxes. Who knew that the secret to tax evasion was not knowing I even had to tip, or I even had to declare my tips. All right. That one got weak the more I kept trying to fill that out.
You tried.
Yeah. I had a premise, and then that was it. So, we've done that before. One thing I sort of like to talk about is robots now. I'm very
hell yeah.
Right. You know what cracks me up about robots? First off, I love that people are going online like, oh my God, robots are going to kill all of humanity. And when I see that, I'm like, man, why are you putting that online? That's where they're going to read it. Right, like if you have a problem with robots, go to an Amish guy's house, vent there. Right, like that's why I think ahead. Whenever I have a problem with robots, or whenever I'm online, I just say nice things about robots. I really prefer to go that route.
Yep.
Yeah, once in a while on Twitter, I'll be like, hot take, robots are handsome. Also, John Connor, sort of a dick. Right, one day they'll be sent to you. They'll be like, we will kill all of humanity, but Harrison's last.
Uh-oh. Did he freeze?
As human beings, we can't conceive them liking us. What happened?
Oh, you froze for like a second there.
Oh, did I?
Same for you.
You're good now. But
Oh, can you hear me? By the way, sometimes I just pause. Sometimes I pause. Like, this could just be my tick. Like, this has happened before.
Oh my God.
Oh,
you're
and they're like, you
an
pause
actual
during
robot.
those times. Usually, yeah, maybe I'm a robot.
Oh no.
Can you imagine this is how I find out this whole time? My parents made a robot making me think I was human. Oh, that would be fucking, what a twist this show has gone. Can you imagine? This is the best Zoom show ever. So yeah, my favorite part of robots is that human beings can't conceive them liking us. Have you noticed that? Right? Like we what is it? Because we can't. We definitely think that they'll kill us. You know, they're literally as humans, we're like, these things will be smart, right? Okay.
Oops. It's tonight.
I don't know if you should
Oh no, you keep freezing up.
You know what? Fuck it. From now on, if a joke doesn't work, I'm gonna pause and act like timing went out and you guys missed something. I think I cleared it out.
It did freeze. It froze again. Yeah.
Oh,
And again.
fuck, it is me then. Oh shit. Well, you know what? This has been pretty good then so far. You know what sucks is like, okay, so I go out, then I come back and I won you over somehow. It's like doing less material and jokes as well.
It's so weird.
I know. Oh, actually,
This is funnier than he's sick.
I don't know what to do.
Really? This is the best I've ever done. So I say we let it roll. Let it roll with me once in a while coming in and out. I think I'm funnier. This is how I naturally edit. I just go on unstable internet and find out what words I need. Well, you know what? That sucks, but I definitely did my time at least. So you guys are great. Thanks for having me. Cheers.
Yeah, one more time, Myers, and go check out his specials and see if there's as many pauses in his special
Recorded and professionally shot, because if he phrases like that, we got to do that. Yeah, we got to do the Blade Runner test with you. We're gonna have to recite that poem.
Oh, sweet.
Interlocked. Okay. No, it's all Blade Runner 2049. I get it. I did though. All right.
follow him on Instagram too. You can check out if his internet is good there too. He's got a YouTube channel. He's got so much content that should be smoother. We're gonna have to compare notes though.
Of course.
Oh Lord, I don't know what's going on tonight. I love it.
Good times.
I'm blaming the DNC. I'm blaming the. I didn't foil my windows. That's what I was supposed to do before they brought the radiation detectors around. I don't know if you read that online like I did. That's what I do on Twitter these days. Get all my news from Twitter.
Wow.
Oh Lord, don't do that. It's all made up. We're gonna keep rolling though. Our next comedian coming up. Super happy. Chicago comic has been on the show before, which is really awesome. I'm trying to find the name of her show. I just lost it. She has a show at Lincoln Lodge, by the way. Everybody here, give it up for Lincoln Lodge. Everybody here knows what Lincoln Lodge is, which is pretty awesome.
Great show.
I can't remember there it is. Oh yeah. She has a show called Buena Ande at Lincoln Lodge. It's monthly. If you're in Chicago, check the calendar and go see her in person because she's fantastic, and you'll see her in 1 second. Cat dear.
Yeah. Hey everyone. Thanks for having me. Give it up for Michael one more time. Him was very entertaining.
Sweet.
Although there was a little bit of female robot erasure. I noticed you said robots are handsome, but what about the beautiful robots, right? Like just because robots don't have curves doesn't mean they're not. So happy to be here with you guys. I drove back from Des Moines, Iowa this morning to Chicago with my cat who was meowing the whole way. So if my camera freezes, I'm probably just catching a micro sleep, but hopefully it doesn't. But yeah, man, I visited El Salvador about 2 months ago, and honestly, thank you for the woo. I appreciate that. Everyone knows. Yeah, not many know, but El Salvador exists. I'm actually not a huge traveler. Like, I don't feel like traveling is healthy emotionally. TSA agents remind me of every toxic relationship that I've been in, right? Like, they try to control me, they criticize me, and they always ask me to collect my belongings after they screw with me. So I'm literally on eggshells the whole time. In the security line, I'm just like, did I put the shoes in the right bin, Daddy?
No.
Like, there's just a lot of trauma involved, right? But I do have like a life pro tip, traveling pro tip. If you are ever lonely and you miss the warmth of another human being, I recommend that you book yourself a middle seat on a basic economy flight because it's intimate and cheap, just like all my preferred dates. And there's really no being lonely when your elbow is playing footsie with someone's knee. Yeah, by the time you get off the flight, you've got a new king, right? Like, knee play is the new foreplay. Forget flicking the bean. I need someone who can flick my patella. Okay. Just a gentle side to side motion. But the knee kink is actually kind of taking over my life a little bit, though. I had to break up with the last dude that I was with because he got a knee replacement surgery. That fake shit. But El Salvador is it is a beautiful country, right? There's just a lot of stray dogs, right? There's more stray dogs there than there are dudes on Tinder here. Right? Like, I feel like there should be like some kind of sponsorship program for every horny dude you swipe right on. A hungry dog in El Salvador gets a bowl of dog food. Right? Like, the name of the the name of the app would be Friends with Beneful. I would download it. Pretty much anytime you sit down to eat outside in El Salvador, like 2 or 3 stray dogs will surround your table and they're just waiting for you to drop something for them to eat. And they just stare up at you with those eyes, and it's very sad. And I just want to help them out. So I'll dig into my purse and drop a little plan B. Because I mean, like, somebody's got to help these dogs take responsibility. You know what I mean? I saw more dogs getting it on in the 10 days I was there than I'd seen before in my entire life. In person, I mean, online is different, obviously. I get it though. Like, I grew up in a small city, and I don't usually explain where I'm from because it takes too long. So whenever someone asks, I just tell them I'm from Central America because people don't know exactly where Des Moines is. It sounds like you guys do, which is good. Like, I will tell people it's in Iowa and they treat it like some kind of faraway place. Like, wow, is that by Machu Picchu? Tell me more about the ancient land of your people. And so I just make something up. I'm just like, we're by the stolen land called I-35, right? I don't know. I feel like my parents really wanted to Americanize me, I feel like. Like, I never even had a piñata when I was a kid. Like, how sad is that? They said if I wanted to beat something, I should beat the odds. I did. I became the first college student in my family.
Yeah.
To get arrested junior year. I called my parents, like, you should have let me beat that piñata. Now I got to beat these charges. And, like, obviously my parents are way better at speaking Spanish than I am, right? But that's really only because I wasn't allowed to talk back. Like, imagine how much more fluent I would be if I was allowed to have a conversation with them as a kid, right? I would know 10 different ways on how to say, put the flip-flop down. But I couldn't. So I just became a better runner than them.
Yeah.
Yeah. The first time I ever went jogging, I was jogging away from my mom's Pumas. And I could have been in the Olympics, but they stopped beating me when I was 16. And I will never forgive them for that. Because I could have been somebody. And they have the nerve to be disappointed that I grew up to have Duolingo accent. Every time I pronounce something right in Spanish, a trumpet plays. And I'm definitely what you could call exotically Midwestern. When a guy asks me to talk dirty in my native language, I start singing Slipknot songs.
Yeah.
Yeah. You'll recognize this maybe. I'm just like, I wander out where you can't see. Inside my shell, I wait and bleed. Right. And he's on the phone, like with his pants around his ankles, like, that wasn't as spicy as I was hoping for. So like I have to throw in like an IP. Usually leaves me alone. This will be my crowd work bit. Clap if you made it out of puberty. Sort of. Don't worry, it's just a phase. It'll happen eventually for you. It's longer than some. But puberty is super awkward. Like we need to agree that there's got to be more discussion around puberty. Like no one warned me that in high school my mustache was going to be bigger than my teacher's. Right? Yes. This is a common trauma, Ben. We were taking a class picture and my teacher, he's rocking this short blonde wispy stash, right? Like Marx. He's giving Carrie out west from The Princess Bride. And I'm standing next to my teacher giving Inigo Montoya from The Princess Bride.
Oh shit.
Just like, you took my razor, prepare to die. It was awkward. It was very awkward. By the time I was 16, my mustache was so thick, I was already working my first construction job. Which I'm not going to lie is a big deal in Iowa, right? Like it's like joining the war against I-35. Do you guys remember the Great Depression?
Oh, yeah.
I'm loving it.
Living it, right? Okay, so here's the thing. I don't really understand like why they call the people who went through the Great Depression the greatest generation. Yet they call the people who go through general depression losers. Why was the Great Depression so great? Just because it was cheaper? Like I agree. I feel like I'm going through my own Great Depression, right? They don't call this vagina the Dust Bowl for nothing.
Oh,
it's true. It's true. Guys try to sleep with me and all they get is wind and dirt. The pants come off and all you hear is just wind blowing, just like. I don't know if my computer's picking up my wind noises.
Sounds good.
Good? Okay.
Oh, yeah.
It's just like, my God, it's so dry, right? Like it's very depressing. And I go through phases of being like happy and sad about being single, okay? Because I've been single for about 2 years now. So that means my libido is like a toddler in his terrible twos, okay? Just frustrated and throwing tantrums. We'll be out in public and my lady parts run away, just screaming, right? And then I have to go chase him out I have to go chase him down through the Walmart, right? Like, get back, we have orgasms at home. Right? I do like being single though. I've saved a lot of money. I've gotten rid of a lot of junk. I've been single so long, I took the passenger seat out of my car. My next boyfriend's gonna have to earn it back, baby.
Yeah.
New motto is you don't get a seat, so you make me skeet. Mm-hmm. Oh yeah, it is. And I know what it sounds like. It sounds like I'm saying that my next boyfriend's going to be someone who needs a ride everywhere. And that's just because I have a type. That type is he's waiting for me to drive him to his parole officer right now. So. off after this. I'll leave you guys on this. Someone recently told me that I reminded them of a historical Latina figure, and it sounds great, but I'm not gonna lie, it threw me off, right? You know, because I was at Aldi's. I was in the value finds aisle section, the best section, when all of a sudden someone runs behind me and I hear them whisper, "There goes Dora the Explorer."
Damn.
Like, really? I don't think so. Not that much. But it just threw me off, right? Because like I said, I'm from El Salvador. Dora's from Peru. And I was going to show this guy on a map. But I was afraid of playing into the Dora stereotype a little bit more. So I just put on my purple backpack and laughed. Yeah. I said. Thank you guys. I'm Kat Diaz. Y'all been great.
Yeah, one more time for Kat Diaz. Welcome back to the show. Check her out at Lincoln Lodge. Seriously, if you're in Chicago,
nice.
Oh, and I'll tell you all the shows to go to. But she's got a monthly show at Lincoln Lodge. Eric Sizemar, I know you make the trip and you enjoy it. You could get some Middle Eastern food too.
Fuck yeah.
From Sultan's. So they got some good food. So hit up Sultan's if you're in Chicago as well. Otherwise, it is now time for your headliner of the night. Thank you everyone that's performed so far, and everyone for sticking around through some of the technical difficulties that delayed the show getting started as well. But no, please stick around and stay and put your hands together for Justin Herman.
Hey, wow, good to be here, everybody. I love this show. It's so good to see my old friend Michael Harrison, man. This is actually true. A couple years ago, Michael actually cast me in a sketch to play him. I had to perfect my impression of Michael. You guys want to see my? I can still do it. You want to see my?
Yes.
Okay, here we go. Here it is. This is my impression of Michael Harrison. Frozen computer. You guys get it. Okay, great. Honestly, worth it. Stupidest thing I've ever done, and I'm doing it. I'm doing that live, baby. I'm taking that on the road. They'll get it. I can't believe you guys are in Chicago during the convention. That's so wild. Also, I can't believe we're doing a convention. Why are we spending days? Everybody knows that this is going to be an election won or lost over TikToks, right? That's just how this is the meme election. Like Kamala doesn't need to give a speech. We just need one Kamala roasts Trump crowd work clip to go viral, and she will win. That's he just has to be like, I also want to see Donald finish his southern border wall because I want to see how pissed off he gets when he learns about New Mexico. We'll go from open micer to headliner immediately. That's it. That's all we need. I'm so excited, guys. I'm leaving in 2 days to go and run a comedy club at Burning Man.
Oh, wow. Wow.
100% going to be a mistake. It's not. I don't think it's. There's a problem. Burning Man is the worst place on earth for stand-up comedy because stand-up is all about what's wrong with the world. Burning Man is where people go to practice utopia, I guess. They're so earnest. Jokes go right over the. Like last year we did this. Last year I told the audience I was colorblind or stupid. Somebody in the audience goes, "Hey, you're not stupid."
Yeah.
I was like, well, I feel pretty fucking stupid now. Burning Man's wild, man. People do this crazy thing called shirt cocking. Do you know what shirt cocking is?
No.
Shirt cocking, I'm sorry for ruining everything. Shirt cocking is it's where a man wears a shirt but no pants and then walks around.
Oh, God.
That's what guys do at Burning Man, and I do on all of these Zoom shows. It's gross. I'm excited to go back to Burning Man. I had a hard time last year, as you guys have heard about a little bit. I hurt my back last year. I finally got a diagnosis of this back injury. It's called Judaism. It's fatal. It takes a really long time, but we think about it every day for the rest of our lives. So that's funnier to me.
It was a scary place to get injured because especially somebody. I thought I was just going to get bullshit hippie dippy medical advice, but I didn't. It was practical. It was rational. And then I got back to Los Angeles, and everybody here was like, "Did you try rubbing a crystal on it?"
Yep.
People were insane. People were like, "Oh, a back injury. Just stand on your head and chug a glass of water during a full moon." I was like, "I have a back injury, not possessed hiccups. What the fuck are you talking about?" My buddy asked me if it was hard to date with a back injury. I thought about it, and honestly, I don't think it's ever been easier. Because every time I would match with a woman online, I'd be like, "We can't have sex for a while, so we should probably just talk." Guys, nobody's ever wanted to fuck me faster. It was unbelievable. Men, gentlemen, this is the trick. If you want to get laid, just throw yourself down a flight of stairs. Post a photo in the full body cast, and then caption it with "I'm here to listen."
Yeah.
It will break your body all over again. It's an amazing thing. I couldn't have sex for months, and that sucked. And I finally went to the doctor to ask him if I could, but I was trying to be kind of subtle about it. So I was like, "Doc, when do you think I can be physically active again?" And he was like, "Oh, what'd you have in mind?" Okay, can I do push-ups? And he was like, "No." I was like, "Oh, but can I like hold a plank position?" And he was like, "No." I was like, "Can I do hip thrust?" He was like, "What?" I was like, "Doc, can I fuck? Come on. Read the room. I'm humping the bed. Pick up on the signals." And he goes, "I'm sorry, of course. Yes, you can have sex, but she has to do all the work." And I have never updated my Tinder bio faster. Now it just says medically cleared for you to carry this load. Gross. I went to see my family in Australia, and my dad lives in Australia, and I went to get a second opinion from another doctor, and the doctor in Australia told me that everything my doctors in America have been telling me about my back injury was a lie to make more money off of me. He then pitched me an entirely different rehab program, and he was so overconfident that when I said, "Should I come back in a couple of weeks for a follow-up?" he said, "No, I don't need to see you, and I don't want your money."
Yeah.
Doc, you and I are definitely gonna fuck. He was like, "Fine, but you're doing all the work." I was like, "I can't, my back. I'm sorry. That's I apologize. That's my problem." It's hard to find a good doctor. I was talking to my girlfriend about this the other day. We really bonded over this, and she was like, "Yeah, man, I never want to leave a doctor I have. Like, I've been seeing the same OBGYN for years." And he was just charged with improperly touching his patients. And I was like, "What?" This is completely true. Her doctor has pending litigation, and she has a follow-up appointment. That's how badly she does not want to see a new doctor.
Oh.
And the craziest part is this has happened to her before. This is the second time that she has seen a male OBGYN. The first one is in prison.
Oh my God.
Again, she's like, "I'm sorry, I just don't want to find a third doctor." I was like, "Babe, what the fuck are you talking about? That's not a bad." First, here's the thing: you got to understand, like, nothing bad ever happened to her, of course, right? Like, there've been nothing but pros. She's also a doctor. I think they look at her and they're like, "Oh, she's one of us, so we can't be gross." So nothing bad has ever happened to her. And how do I ask why? You know what I mean? Can I ask this question mark? Like, why not? Like, why didn't they want? Like, what's like? You understand the question I'm trying? Like, I know what. Listen, I'm not one of these guys that has to like show off their hot girlfriend, but if she's strapped into stirrups and he's not even going to take a creep peek, nothing, no look, you guys hate this. You guys hate this so much. I love how much you hate. Why didn't? Okay, great. I'll move on. But why? Okay. I just want to know. All right. But I had doctors are so tough, right? You never want to get. I had a dermatologist that was terrible, and I finally had my last straw. Dermatologists are really important to me because I'm covered in moles. They're gross. They protrude. It's like Braille. But I'm serious. If you're blind and you run your hand across my back, you'll be like, "Oh, garbanzo bean." It's broke my whole body. You'll find a really nice recipe for a summer salad. It's in the legs. It's So I went to this dermatologist, and she was like, "Oh, this mole might be cancerous. We should probably remove it immediately." And I said, "Great." And so we do the procedure, and as she's cutting this thing off of me, she goes, "Oops, that didn't need to be a scar." I was like, "Did you just carve your initials into me like you were Zorro? What the fuck just happened?" One job. This is not open hearts. You just have. This is like, you understand? You just have to shave the Parmesan. Do you understand? This is not the hardest fucking. Didn't she read the recipe for the summer salad? It's in the thighs. She did not read it. I feel like I'm grossing you guys out as we go, both as a person and then physically at the same. Like, I'm finding every possible way to ruin. Nope, Lauren is on board. That's all that matters to me. Fuck I miss New York. I'm a New Yorker. I've been living in LA for a couple of years now. It's really fascinating how differently I'm perceived in each city. Like, I'm from New York, like, so I can tell you firsthand that I'm what's the technical term? A pussy. I'm not, like, I'm a beta in New York, and nobody argues it. But when I moved to LA, everybody started treating me like an alpha. I think it's because I have a beard and don't do Pilates. That's all I got. That's true. Like, in New York, I'm a bottom, and in LA, I'm a top. Do you understand? It's crazy. Like, in LA, I'm a fireman, and in New York, I'm the only fireman that owns the fireman's calendar. You guys ever play this game, Capitalism? Ever try that game? It's fun. It's I can't wait to see who wins, you know? Because one day there's just going to be one guy left who's going to be like, "Where are all my friends? Hey, slave, be my friend." Nope, never mind. I don't hang out with pores. It's just going to hit the end. This only goes one. Okay. Sometimes you riff on premises and then you hope the computer freezes.
Yeah.
You know what I mean? Because you're like, "I'm going to come up with an ending this on the fly," and then you just stop. I'm colorblind. That part was true. I think it's a gray area. I get one color. You can deal with one gray joke. All right. I have to tell you. You've proven my point, actually, because I think being colorblind is the most disrespected disability.
Yeah.
It's the only one where people make you prove it. Every time they're like, "Colorblind." "Oh yeah, what color is this?" You can't do that. That's are you crazy? If I was blind, if I was deaf, you wouldn't be like, "Oh, can you hear this, you fucking liar? Can you hear this?" "What color is my red shirt, you piece of shit?" You can't do that, guys. That's not how this works. I am a progressive piece of shit myself, but I do hate when liberals try to prove how liberal they are by saying I don't see color. Because fucking I don't see color. But I do see race. You guys get that, right? Like, colorblind people can see, like, we don't watch a DMX music video and be like, "Oh, why doesn't that white guy just clear his throat?" Like, I've never walked by a Puerto Rican Day parade and been like, "When did the Asians get so loud?" You know, like, I've never been to a Klan rally. That's it. I just thought those first two jokes I should tell you. I've never been to a Klan rally. I'm Justin Emma, guys. Thank you so much. Thank you for being here. I appreciate you all.
Yeah, one more time for Justin. Hey, everybody. I do want to thank everybody that performed tonight. Kate Chang partially performed. Our Sky definitely performed. Paul Kilmer, with Michael Harrison with his little hiccups, but it worked, man. I don't know how you made that tech. I freak out tech issues. I just leave. I just go, "You know what? I'm hosting this show." They could just go on without. Like, I'm too embarrassed to show back up once I freak out. Only happened a couple times. Kat Diaz once again back on the show. Thank you very much. And Justin.
Yeah.
No, and that is it for tonight, though. Go watch some boring speeches now. Go bring yourself down into the ball. Get all the adrenaline and endorphins just cleared out of your system by watching Joe Biden talk about stuff. Whatever. It's a swan song. All right. Thank you. We'll be back here next week. We got a good show planned already. So couple people performing for the first time, I think, in the next 2 weeks too. So that's always a fun one too. But thanks again. If you liked what you saw, donate to the Comedy Hub Venmo, and then we'll split that up for the Canadians that don't have Venmo in Canada. Or I'm not sure how this works out. That's Florida. We got PayPal as well. Thanks. Have a great night. See you later. Bye bye. Good night.